Our guest tonight is GFW star Johnny Impact. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me back. Yeah, Johnny Impact. Who would have ever thought that was going to happen?
Legitimately, we had you on as Johnny Morrison, Johnny Mundo, John Hennigan, and this is the fourth time now, and Johnny Impact. Wow, you've kind of changed names a lot, Johnny.
I'm going nuts with this name thing. I think last time I was on, I said I was the wrestler with the most John-based ring names in history, and well, damn it, I'm proving it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that there's no one even close to having as many names as I've had in wrestling.
That is fantastic. Well, listen, in August, you made your GFW debut, making you Johnny Impact. What ultimately went into your decision to sign with the company, and what was the signing process like?
Man, so I've been in talks with people from TNA and GFW for a long time. Big John Gaborg, Taz, Lagana, Jarrett, and really what it came down to was it was a great opportunity, and it didn't feel like I was going to miss out or lose anything by signing with GFW. So it's a deal that's been worked out through AAA, where I'm still going to be on AAA. I'm still going to be on Lucha Underground, and now I'm going to be on Impact on Pop TV every Thursday night too. So it just seems like a no-brainer. And the circumstances of under which I was approached prior to this time were not that way. So it feels like right now I'm getting my cake and getting to eat it too, like a protein cake though, maybe like with Halo Top ice cream on the side, because you know how I feel about carbs.
I don't think you've eaten a carb in years. When was the last time you had a carb?
I do. I have a sweet tooth. I just really my saving grace is that I'm OCD about working out. So if at night I'm eating ice cream, the next morning I'm doing cardio because that's my obsession. The only thing I'm addicted to, which I guess in a grand scheme of things is not so bad to be addicted to training.
It's very sad. As a fat person, I just sit here like, I wish I could. I wish I had, of all the things that OCD about, being fat, I'd be like, yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one.
Maybe you should just follow his regimen.
I could never. I don't have the DNA. Mike Chiari, next question.
There's seemingly a lot of question marks about the future of Lucha Underground and whether there's going to be another season. So, I was wondering how, if at all, did that maybe influence your decision to sign with Impact? And also, what is your confidence level in terms of whether there's going to be another Lucha Underground season?
I'm very confident there's going to be another season of Lucha Underground. The factor that factored into my decision to go to Impact really was just that it felt like this is this great opportunity for me to get to do everything: Impact, Lucha, AAA, and it doesn't feel like I'm really giving up anything. Because Lucha Underground was on hiatus for so long, I mean, I haven't been doing any new wrestling for a TV show in over a year, and I was starting to feel a little bit antsy in the pantsy to get out in the ring and do something in front of a national audience. And this opportunity with Impact came up, and I felt like I needed to jump on that thing.
Antsy in the pantsy is an inside the business term, right? I'm just not hip to it.
I don't know if it's inside the business term. It's just something that I say a lot.
I feel like I'm getting worked. I mean, is this a shoot? I'm confused. Am I using the right words? I don't know what's happening.
Okay, so Antsy in the Pantsy, like, just in that movie Super Troopers?
Yes, of course.
It comes from Super Troopers, where they're drinking syrup. The boys get all syrupy, right, and they get antsy in the pantsy. I don't know. I just, for some reason, like that. It's a funny thing to say.
Brandon Galvin, next question.
Well, throughout GFW's history, the company has made it a priority to feature top-tier talent as the face of the brand, such as AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Sting, over the past few years with Bobby Lashley. So when you signed with GFW, knowing that you're still with AAA, was any of that on your mind, that you might be leaned on as a guy to build GFW's brand for mainstream success?
Yeah, man, that's the reason I went. I feel like what I bring to the table for a company like GFW Impact is that, like, my reputation, I never phone it in. I always leave it all out there. I have been trying to, no matter what or where I'm wrestling, always have a very high quality match. I've been on TV with WWE for I was with them for almost 10 years, and since then with Lucha Underground and AAA, 5-Star Wrestling in the UK and Qatar. I've been wrestling all over the world, and I feel like someone like me is what that company really needed at the time that I signed, which was exciting to me because when I go somewhere, I go to be the guy, the main event, and it feels like I'm helping the company, and that's really what I feel like I want to be spending my time on right now in this business.
Well, after beating Low Key to become the number one contender, you square off against Eli Drake for the GFW Championship next week. I can't even say it without doing the 3-syllable thing.
I know.
It's good. It's a good thing. He's got something going on there. What should fans expect from the match, and do you believe you'll walk out with the world title?
Yeah, absolutely. I think fans of GFW and Impact have seen a certain side of Eli Drake. And in my opinion, the level of wrestling that he's done since I've gotten to Impact has escalated exponentially, because he knows that if he doesn't bring it, I'm just going to leave him in my dust. So I would expect to see a hard-working, hard-hitting, desperate Eli Drake at Victory Road. And then I would even further expect to see that hard-working Eli Drake outclassed by Johnny Impact, because he can work as hard as he wants. The fact of the matter is I've worked for 15 years, and there's no way that he can catch up to what I've achieved and the amount of work that I've put in to my swag, to my moveset, to my psychology in this business. But I would expect to see a kick-ass match, and I wouldn't miss it.
Mike Yard, next question.
Over the past several months of Lucha Underground programming, you've been the champion, you've been the guy for the company. What has being Lucha Underground champion taught you, and how do you think that it's prepared you for when you win the GFW title?
Man, ultimately, the champion of a company is that company's brand ambassador. He's the guy, or she's the guy, or girl, you know what I mean? It's 2017. That is going to be on the posters that people are going to depend on to draw money. Ultimately, that's who becomes champion. Why am I prepared to do that for GFW or Impact? Because I've done it for the past 15 years. I mean, I won Tough Enough 3 when I started. I got signed, and there's a learning curve when you first get into the business. It's not like you can just step into professional wrestling and be excellent at it, because wrestling's not easy. Let me tell you, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Over that time that I've spent in this business and on my career, I've continually evolved. I've pushed myself with regard to integrating martial arts tricking, parkour, and MMA into my style of professional wrestling, which, in my opinion, is the way the business has evolved over the past 10 years. Delivering that in the ring, in addition to being able to talk about Impact, talk about myself, having other things going on the side, like the bounty hunter, is why I'm the perfect person to represent Impact. All I have to do now is take Eli Drake to Slam Town at Victory Road, and all that stuff is going to start happening, and you're going to see a lot of good things happening to Impact.
Brandon Gavin, next question.
You and Taya do a fantastic job with Lucha Underground, but have come into GFW as separate acts. Do you prefer it that way, or do you think it will be difficult to avoid pairing you together on Impact Wrestling?
That's funny. I feel like it's got a similar answer to the way I feel about when people ask me whether I prefer tag team or individual wrestling. A lot of times the grass is greener. And I love working with Taya. She's so talented, and we have a chemistry on screen and off screen as well. I mean, we're engaged. Everyone knows that. As far as being separate acts with Impact GFW, I'm really excited about it, because it feels like she's really taken her queen thing with the music and made it her own. She's come into her own as a performer. She's got confidence. She believes in what she's doing, and it's fun for me to watch. And I feel like this is the first time she's really been out on her own and knocking it out of the park every week on Impact. and it's a really cool thing. As far as where our paths are going to cross in the future, I don't know. It's hard to predict, but it would be cool for me to see her do her own thing because I feel like she's doing such a good job into the future for a little bit. And as far as I'm concerned, I like working with her. I get to work with her on Lucha Underground. I get to work with her at promotions like Wrestle Circus and in AAA. So I feel like I'm getting to do a little bit of everything, and that's the way Johnny likes it.
Okay, that was a little perverted. That last bit sounded a little bit perverted, just a little bit. Someone who
Hey,
was...
man, you can read into it what you want.
You just had a little more fervor in that last bit. You know, I got to do. Johnny does what he wants, baby. It's very perverted. I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I like it, but I just called it what it was. As someone who has worked for many different companies, like WWE, like GFW, like Lucha Underground, what are some of the differences you've noticed in the GFW locker room as compared to some of the other places you've been?
I really like the GFW locker room, man. Like, it was so cool for me to see Chris Masters. Him and I go way, way, way back. Him and I actually went to the same elementary school in Los Angeles. We didn't even know each other back then, but we were super bros in OVW when he got there in 2004. And him, man, and then like you got Trevor Lee, Moose, who I became friends with doing independent wrestling for places like Pro Wrestling Revolver and AEW. And then Bobby Lashley, who's another super bro from OVW. Jim Cornette comes back. It kind of felt like a weird flashback to 2005 for me at first. We got Lashley, Masters. Eli Drake reminds me a lot of Rob Conway in sometimes the way that he talks and moves and performs. And I've got struck with this weird sense of deja vu a couple times. And it was cool, but as cool as it was, the one thing that I felt like Impact needed was a quick evolution, because 2005 is 12 years ago, and this is time to do things a little bit differently, because a lot of the shows that I'm doing on the weekends, what I get from the crowd is that they want faster paced stuff. They want harder hitting stuff. And because people have consumed so much wrestling, some of the stuff that worked back then doesn't work the same now. So you just need to update everything. And I feel like that's really what Impact needed when I got there, was an update.
Mike Chiari, final question?
There's always a lot of speculation and rumors out there on the internet about GFW and the kind of stuff that's going on behind the scenes. As a performer, how does that affect you, and how do you go about trying to just block out all those whispers?
Man, some of the best advice I got in wrestling, I got from Matt Capitelli, who's now especially dealt with so much stuff, so much hardship and adversity, and always remained positive. His biggest advice to me was, worry about the things you can control. Don't worry about the things you can't, because that'll drive you crazy. So I take that to me meaning I can control what I do in the ring. I can control how jacked I am, how tan I am, how my hair looks, how I talk, how I walk. But if the company is sold, if it's going to be on a different network, if it's going to go bankrupt, on some level, worrying about that takes energy. And I don't want to put my energy into worrying about something that's ultimately not my decision anyway. So I've become good at just cutting that off and not worrying about it, because it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. But regardless, I know I'm going to land on my feet, because I'm focusing on the things that I can control. I'm a valuable asset to GFW, to Lucha Underground, to AAA, to WWE, to Ring of Honor. Who knows? Johnny Honor might make an impact somewhere too.
Johnny Honor.
By worrying about just me, it eliminates that worry.
Johnny Entertainment would be pretty cool. You know, I think, listen, wherever you end up landing, Johnny, whatever your last name will be, is going to be fantastic. Well, listen, a huge thanks to our guest tonight, Johnny Impact. Catch him stealing the show every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Impact Wrestling, and every Wednesday also at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Lucha Underground. Tell the fans where else they can support you.
Follow me on Twitter at @TheRealMorrison for updates about me and my movie Boone the Bounty Hunter. If you haven't heard about Boone the Bounty Hunter, it's time for you to call your mom, call your friends, and get Booned. It's an action comedy starring me using a mix of pro wrestling, parkour, and MMA moves to boon celebrities like Kevin Sorbo and John Hillipnicki. It's got Rampage Jackson, it's got Spencer Grammer and Osric Chow. A lot of really talented name actors, and everybody that's seen it has liked it. I'm super proud of it. So, yeah, follow me on Twitter, Boone yourself. Check out my Facebook. It's John Morrison, and follow me on Instagram under my shoot name at John Hennigan. I just started doing this Insta story stuff yesterday. Man, it's a pain in the ass. There's like so much social media stuff you got to do. It's ridiculous.
It is. You also told me to tell my mom about Boone. I watch Boone. I love Boone. But I am not telling my mom about Boone. The last thing I want to see is my mom ogling Johnny Impact in front of me. I could not handle that, dude. I could not handle that. She'd be like,
I think it's going to be good for her health in the long run.
Yeah, don't do this.
Service to keep her in the dark.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Please don't do this. Now I have to go take a shower. This is ridiculous. Johnny Impact, thank you so much for your time, man. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, bro. Take care.